So, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars took over the world.
Slowly but surely.
And it was actually Lego Star Wars 2 was my favorite game, I think, of 2006.
That was a couple years ago.
It was a couple years ago. I loved that game, and I loved that it was on every platform. Loved it.
Now it's
But Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie
of all time ever.
It really is. I love that movie. Every time I see it, I think there's just one perfect frame after another. And speaking of which, this is actually one of the last shots in the movie, so.
Let's look it up.
Go back and check that movie out again. But Lego Indiana Jones, it collects the first 3 films. It doesn't have anything from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
There's a little kind of tidbit.
A little sort of nod, but it doesn't really incorporate the storytelling.
That's the worst part of the tidbit.
Oh, shut up. I love Kingdom of the Crystal Skull too. It's definitely not as good as the first 3, but it's a very fun movie. But let's talk about this game. So you get Raiders of the Lost Ark, you get some Temple of Doom, and you get
a little bit of Last Crusade.
Last Crusade as well.
Young Indy.
A little bit of Young Indiana Jones, all mixed in there.
Origin.
One of the best parts about this game, obviously, you kind of know what you're in for if you played the Lego Star Wars games. It's all kind of humorously retold.
Especially the complete saga where you could play as Lego Indy.
Yeah, well, and in this one, you actually get some Star Wars nods as well. But it's a sense of humor, a kind of quirky kind of retelling of all of these different movies. Out of each movie, you get 6 big major scenes.
Big, huge chunks.
And what I liked about them too is that they really are big levels. There's corridor elements, and then they reveal sort of wide open areas, and then there's just a bunch of little puzzles that you got to solve. And of course, you're trying to collect as many of the bricks as you can, and then you unlock
it's all about collecting the artifacts, and each level has,
absolutely.
You collect 10 artifacts in one level and you get a little piece.
There's a lot of destroying blocks.
A whole lot of destroying blocks. A whole lot of characters in this game.
And it is a little bit repetitive that you're doing the same stuff, and most of the puzzles start to kind of, you get the formula, but it's still incredibly intrinsically addictive.
I mean, they added some nice hand-to-hand stuff. You know, you get your close quarter combat, guys grappling with guys, flipping.
Indy's whip.
Indy does a drop kick.
Yeah, he does do that. I love that. It's like a total wrestling move, isn't it? Yeah, I knew you'd like that. But the whip is incredibly versatile. Not only do you use it to whip the bad guys.
You can whip the ladies over to you.
You can whip the ladies over. You can trip the dudes. You can grab all kinds of things and climb up. You can grab hooks on the walls and pull stuff back towards you. It's very versatile, very cool. There is some multiplayer, only for 2 players.
And not online.
Locally, which is a drag, because sometimes you do have more than 2 characters on screen at the same time.
Exactly, you know, and you want to experience a little Indy with some friends, maybe, you know.
And what were they saying? That people wanted to be Indiana Jones and they didn't want to take that away from people? They want people fighting over Indy?
If it was online, you'd be like, who gets to be Indy?
Oh, come on.
Why do you get to be Indy?
Why
do I got to be short round?
All the characters are cool.
Why am I short round?
I love that Saul is in there. Short round's cool. He has his own abilities. He's kind of like the R2-D2 of this game.
But I mean, if we're playing online, why do I got to get stuck with short round? You get to wear the hat.
What are you going to give Lego Indiana Jones?
Loved it. Wish there was a little Kingdom of the Crystal Skull action.
Yes.
8.5 out of 10.
8.5. Yeah. Oh man. The only thing I would say is that they didn't go maybe far enough to make it that much better than the Star Wars stuff. I can only give this a 9.5.
Only. Look at that.
But
I can only give it a 9.5.
You gotta get it. I can't.
Just let me buy you a drink. Come on, kitten.
Fool. Bureaucratic fool.
Come on, Pookie, a drink to cheer you up.
You don't know what you've got.
Maybe you'll give it a 10.
Awesome game.